Hey everyone, Josh here from JDO Films Productions. In this video I'll be reviewing on what I class as a hidden gem. It is one of my all-time favourite films, and it is the 1996 sci-fi thriller The Arrival. Radio astronomer Zane Zeminski, played by Charlie Sheen, discovers an extraterrestrial signal. After being fired from his superior, Phil Gordian, played by Ron Silver, he takes his investigation even further and finds out that there is a worldwide alien conspiracy at work which is threatening our planet. One of the reasons on why this is one of my favourites is because of how clever the story is. How the alien invasion is happening right under the characters' noses, and how it's not blaringly obvious, like for example the War of the Worlds. Hey, don't worry, I'm not slating it whatsoever. I absolutely love Jeff Wayne's musical of it. It's astonishing, especially live. And I haven't seen the 1953 adaptation of it yet, so I can't really comment on that. But I will happily slate this adaptation of it any day. But not right now. Sorry, I'm completely off track. Now, back to The Arrival. Not only is the story extremely clever, it's also brilliantly paced with fantastic elements of mystery behind it, constantly keeping me engaged, whilst at the same time keeping me on the edge of my seat. This is all brilliantly written and directed by David Twohy, who also wrote and directed the Riddick trilogy. Okay, there are a few plot holes here and there, but there are certainly not enough to ruin the whole film. Perfect example of that with a sci-fi flick with enough holes to sink a battleship is this one, Smurfatar 2, The Way of Polished Turd. Yeah, anyway, the acting from the cast in this film is really decent, especially from Ron Silver as Phil Gordian. His character is very approachable, but has a very menacing undertone. Don't get me wrong, Charlie Sheen is excellent as Zane. I can really vouch for him because he is a very well written and very likeable main character. Right, another little criticism to this film is that there are a fair few times where Charlie Sheen slightly overacts. But hey, I'm not destroying his performance as a whole. I still think he carried the film brilliantly. But we can all agree on one thing about Charlie Sheen, is that his performances in these two comedy classics were absolutely fantastic. Another aspect of this film that I think really stands out well is the special effects. Yeah, okay, you can tell we've come a long way since 1996 with CGI, but I have to say, at the time when technology was being updated and used more, this, I think, still looks great today, especially with the original designs of the sets and the aliens. I mentioned before that this film is a hidden gem because when it was released it literally slipped right under the radar, and for many years I wondered why this was the case. So I then researched about it, and then I found out, within the infinite wisdom of Hollywood studios, they felt like to release this film at the exact same time as another sci-fi film. And let me just say, the other sci-fi film is a pretty big one. Well done, Hollywood. Good decision making there. Why did you think this could have worked? Of course there'd have been no competition. Of course people would have ignored The Arrival because of how huge Independence Day looked. Even the trailer for Independence Day showed the White House getting obliterated by the aliens. So of course people would have been captivated more for that one. It's like releasing these two films back to back in the year 2000. It just wouldn't have worked back then. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slating Independence Day whatsoever. I do love that film. But, more to the point, this is the reason why The Arrival was completely ignored or totally forgotten about, which I find a huge shame. But, hey ho, you can't win them all. So, yeah, overall, The Arrival is an incredible film and I cannot recommend it enough. I've watched it so many times since I was 10 years old, and it never ever gets boring. And for an added bonus, it's also got an excellent 90s feel. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. Take care, and I shall see you all again very soon.